Cool. All right. I have never done one of these, so this is a bit different for me. All right, we're live. Cool. All right. People already messaging. New video comment. Hello. All right, sweet. Cool. We've got a couple of viewers already. Oh, 18. All right. So this is a lot quicker than I thought. All right. So on Facebook, we've got 25. It is going up constantly. And we've got a few on YouTube. Cool. All right. Make sure you comment below if you want to chat. Obviously, I'm going to get through some news first, and then everyone can join in and chat about whatever they want, I guess. I'm not going to stay on here for too long, but let's hear the news, Toby. Cool. All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining. If you're watching live, please comment. The numbers are going up like crazy. I didn't think too many people would be watching this, to be honest. I'm hoping this will be fun. Let's see what we can do. This is the first live video that I've ever done. Wow, there are comments everywhere. This is getting crazy. All right. All right. I don't normally do live. Why? Obviously, because as you guys can see, I'm not very good at this. And if you actually watch some of the YouTube videos, I think we've done like 60 odd now. I don't normally like to do live because I screw up so many times when I say something. Every time I do like an intro or even when I'm talking to doing an interview, I stuff up my words and fumble around, and it doesn't turn out too good. And it takes me, every time you see like 10 minutes of me talking, that probably took me like half an hour to edit. So yeah, why am I doing a live video? That's because we got some news and kind of need to put it out now before tomorrow, I guess. I wanted to do this to step out of my comfort zone. I'm reading my notes. Yeah, I thought this would be a fun way to do it. I also want to use this time to actually communicate with you guys. We've got over almost 100 people on Facebook, and we've got getting notifications everywhere. Back. Okay, first news is that we are shutting down Sprinker Hub. I'm just kidding. We're not doing that at all. It's actually the opposite. First news is we're heading to America tomorrow. And when I say we, not just me, but my buddy Matt and I. Matt used to be on my race team, used to clean the car. He's a few years older than me. He's the most passionate and supportive dude I know, and couldn't ask for much more when I'm doing something that I don't really know what I'm doing. Someone just said they almost had a heart attack. I think that was over us maybe shutting down. Yeah, so we're super excited to go to America, and basically we're going to Peevely. I still haven't packed my bags. You guys can't see them, but I've got power cords and stuff going everywhere. And once I'm done doing this video, I can pack everything up. We're going to Peevely, which I haven't been there since 2014. I've only been there for 2 nights of racing in 2014 when I crewed for Joey Saldana and the modder team. Peevely to me is probably the best racetrack in the world. There are other tracks that put on I'm reading the comments. There are other racetracks that put on great racing, but Peevely for some reason is just guaranteed to be good racing. So we really wanted to make sure we go there. So I'm really excited to go to Peevely. It's, like I said, it's always great racing. And that's in Missouri. So we fly into LA, and then we got a couple of connecting flights. We go to Missouri. We're there for a couple of nights, and then we drive 5 hours the next day straight to Knoxville. That's probably going to be the hardest part for myself and my buddy Matt, because to edit a video, these people just called an ambulance, reading the comments. All right, so the hardest part is filming a night's worth of racing and then editing it and then sleeping and getting to the next track. so that like I don't think people realize. Usually I sleep straight after we finish at the racetrack, and then I'll get up and then I'll start editing the video to put out before we go to the racetrack the next day if it's a 2-night show. So this time we're going to be doing 4 nights in a row, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to do Peevely, edit, sleep. That's the way I'm going to do it because of our time difference from here in Australia. And then I'm going to sleep and then hopefully head to the racetrack as late as possible to do another video, do the same thing, and then maybe sleep in the car while Matt drives or something as we go to Knoxville. That's 5 hours away, so that's probably going to be the toughest part for us to get done. We get to Knoxville, we're going to the Capitani Classic. Thank you everyone for the nice comments. I'm not reading all of them because I've got to get through this. So we're going to the Capitani Classic. I'm really excited to finally get back to Knoxville. I haven't been there it's only 3 years, but I'm really excited for Sprint Car Hub to cover the Knoxville Nationals, the Capitani Classic, and obviously Peevely. We had to get credentials from the World of Outlaws to cover Peevely. Then to go to Knoxville, we have to get credentials off Knoxville, which is it's a little bit weird because it's a World of Outlaws event, the Nationals, but not the Capitani Classic. And put the content in raw, no one will care. Yeah. No, I like to edit the videos and kind of get rid of all the crap and put the video together as neatly as possible. You have no idea. We usually have like 5 hours worth of footage on our main camera. I usually have a couple hours of footage on each GoPro. I've only got like 2 GoPros, and then we've got a drone. And to basically be at the racetrack the next day and have a video edited, I've probably gone through like 7 or 8 hours of content. So it's definitely not definitely not easy to get out. And then you gotta export it, upload it to YouTube, put a thumbnail together, hopefully people watch it, get people to click on it, all those sorts of things. So lots to do. But getting back to where I was we're going to Knoxville for the Capitani Classic. We'll cover that. It's, like I said, it's going to be tough. We'll be tired to do that. And then the next day, I spoke to Terry McCall and organised some credentials for Oskaloosa. That actually took the longest because I think he had to check with whoever's streaming that. It might be on Flow Racing. But yeah, we're really excited to cover Oskaloosa. He sent a message back and said, he's organised tickets and said, make us look good, which is of course what we want to do. But if you have been to Knoxville and you haven't been to Oskaloosa, you definitely need to check it out. I haven't been for a few years, but Oskaloosa is just a fun event, and I'm really excited again to cover it for Sprint Car Hub for everyone watching. And then we finally get a day off, which is good. We'll hopefully get a bit of sleep. I'm staying with a buddy by the name of Skip Jackson, so pretty nice of him to let us stay at his place and get everything done. Oh, I just got an order. Thank you, Robert Dixon, on the Sprint Car Hub. Yeah, cool. On our website. That's the next bit of news, which we'll get to in a minute. So excited for the 4 days of Knoxville then, after our day off, which is the Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we're at the Nationals. I got my notes here. I got no idea who's going to win. I think it's such a great year to go because who knows who's going to win the Nationals this year. So many guys are running good. We were talking about Brent Marks only a week or 2 ago, and then on the weekend he didn't really do anything special. Guys like Larson, Gravel, Sweet, Shots has been fast. Someone on my post the other day wrote that I must have be on hardcore drugs to not think Shots could win. Obviously, Shots has a chance at winning. He's won it 10 times, but I just didn't think that he had that speed. So many guys are consistent, but you need to have those really high highs, like someone like Gravel, Hordenchild, although he's had a few distractions lately. Larson, even Sweet, he's won 2 races this year, so he hasn't really had the highs that you would expect for someone to go into the Nationals for. And same with Shots, although he's won a couple of shows and only won one, what was it, yesterday, I don't see him as someone who's as big of a threat as others. Someone just commented, McFadden. Yeah, let us know what you guys think, who you think will win. I look forward to reading the comments, and we've got over a couple hundred people watching live now, which is cool. next bit of news, and it's not the last bit of news, is our merchandise. So I don't know if someone's just ordered merchandise online, but the next Lockie McHugh is a rookie, could shake things up. Yeah, the rookies, there's a few Aussies too, so looking forward to seeing what the Aussies do. Next bit of news is merchandise. So you probably noticed that I'm wearing a new shirt. I have been sitting on this design for quite a while, and as I run through it, let me know what you think. We've got 5 items of merchandise. This is the first one. This one's a charcoal with white on it. This one's called the Evolution shirt. It goes from right back when sprint cars were kind of brought in, and then through the years, through their major changes, they're kind of refined a bit there. They got a roll cage and then a wing, and then we got today's car. So I think, was that Chad Nalon? That's pretty cool. I'm a big fan of Chad. He said, "Can I come?" It's going to be a lot of fun, but I'm not sure that it's going to be as fun as a holiday. It's going to be a lot of work. Loving the Evolution shirt. Thank you, Andrew. But yeah, jump on it. One thing I do say all the time is that we didn't get many made, so make sure you get one quick. And I think some people think that's probably like a quick, do I have a TikTok? I do, but someone's got the Sprint Car Hub name, and I've got Sprint_car_hub. I'm pretty small. I'll fit in the overhead bins. You will, Chad. No worries. I'd love to go over and enjoy it, and drink some alcohol and sit in the Hall of Fame and enjoy it. But I'm under no illusions that this is it's definitely going to be a tough deal. But yeah, I always say that we didn't order much merchandise, so make sure you get in quick. And I'm not even joking. It's not a marketing ploy or anything like that. Literally only have a few shirts of each size of these. We can't get a heap made. So if you want one, and if you're small, there's only a few, so get one. Same for every other size. So if you have signed up to our newsletter, you would have already known that the merchandise is out. So jump on that. Let's get through it. All right, so we've got another shirt. This one is really neat. I'm not going to go through this the whole night, I promise. It's just telling you about our merchandise. If you signed up to our newsletter, you would have already known that about this merchandise, because I sent out the email like half an hour ago or something like that. But this is our polo. I've always felt like, I'm sorry, I'm reading the messages. I've always felt like there's not really a good polo to wear to the racetrack. Something neat, something a bit more generic. You don't want cars covered all over it. I know, like the World of Outlaws, I remember going up to the World of Outlaws trailer to get my dad a nice shirt once, and everything was like skulls and flames and shit like that. And I'm like, I don't want this. I just want something that looks a bit formal, that my dad can wear to golf or something like that. So I thought, why not get something made myself. This is the Sprint Car Hub polo. I am not doing a good job of holding this up. It's really neat, super soft, super stretchy. It's light, it's cool, and it's just got the Sprint Car Hub logo screen printed on the front, so that's going to last forever. I was actually going to wear this shirt for this video, but I like this one too, so I wasn't going to wear both. And so that's the polo. They're really neat. They're online now. They're available. Grab them. Again, I got the same amount made of these as I got of these. So, and same for this next one. Is a jacket. Okay, so same thing again. They look very similar. This one's dark charcoal. I have no idea how to hold this up. All right, that's it there. Again, Sprint Car Hub, same thing. Screen printed on the front. They've got a nice soft collar, soft chin, zip up. It's got a couple of pockets, Velcro sleeves. Yeah, definitely get one. I just saw someone said he might need one. It's got Velcro sleeves so you can stay nice and warm. It's like, what do they call it? Like semi-water resistant or something like that. Again, I could get a hoodie made with a shirt, with a car and stuff and that on it. And it's like, I just don't think that that's kind of something that we need more of. I wanted something that I can wear out anywhere. Same for you guys. If you guys want to wear it to dinner, wear it to your kids' soccer game. If you want to wear it to the racing, obviously, or wear it at home or wear to the shop, something like that. Something that's a bit more casual and a bit formal and not so loud. That's kind of what I want to do with Sprint Car Hub, and so that's why I got that. All right, we got 2 items left. Let me grab them. I haven't opened these up. Only got these the other day. All right, we finally got some stubby holders. We've got a bunch of these made. We didn't get as little amount made as the other merchandise, so definitely jump on it if you like drinking, which I think everyone drinks at some point. Doesn't have to be alcohol, bottles, cans, whatever. We've got some Sprint Car Hub stubby holders made, so definitely jump on them. Again, all this stuff is now on the website. Like, I literally just put it up for you guys to see. So I've got a bunch of them made. Please grab a Sprint Car Hub stubby holder. We're going to take a bunch of us with to America as well, to hand out or do whatever with. And then lastly, for the merchandise anyway, it's not the end of the news, but we got some sticker kits made. So you can chuck them on your car, chuck them on your door, your kids' books, whatever you want to do. Someone's like, yeah, I drink beer, I'll have one. Grab one for sure. Can you send me a free sticker? You can buy one. They're on the website. Funny story, actually. It's funny you say that, because when we went to the Classic down at Warrnambool, everyone wanted stickers, and we're like, okay, we need to get more of these made. And people were grabbing them like crazy. So sticker kits, we got heaps of these made. So again, we're going to be taking some to America. Hopefully, we'll have some left over, and we'll have these to sell as well. All right, so I'm just going through the notes. I've done that. I was editing a video today too. I'll show you guys real quick. It's kind of what it looks like when I edit a video. Yes, I have a ring light. That's how I look. Orange. My bronze godlike tan isn't as natural as you think. But that's the editing software that I edit the videos. That video is coming out while we're in Knoxville on the day off. On our day off, actually. That is the format video, so to explain the format and things like that for people who find a video. So that's what I've been doing today. Okay, so last bit of news before I answer any questions is that once we come back from America, the day we get back, we fly straight to Darwin. And I've never been to Darwin. I'm sick of hearing how good Darwin is. Oh, you've got to go. Oh, just got another order. Nathaniel Goldthorpe. Thank you, Nathaniel. Awesome. Cool. All right. One thing I should mention as well too, and I appreciate everyone that's jumping on this, is because we're going away, there's going to be a slight delay in getting... Send me a stubby, please. Oh, we'll buy one, please. Don't mean to be rude. But yeah, so I forget what I was saying. That's what I was going to say, is everyone who orders, there is going to be a slight delay. Will we be bringing merchandise to Darwin? First of all, we may be bringing some to Darwin, but we try not to. But yeah, there's going to be a slight delay sending merchandise out because we're going away for a couple of weeks. It's as simple as that. Kind of a one-man band. Love the merch, thank you. Other than, I've got the attention span of a goldfish right now. But yeah, because we're going away, I can't send everything out straight away. So also the reason we don't try to take too much to the racetrack is because we usually take a bunch and then it might not sell. And then we're so busy at a racetrack trying to film. Like I said, we get 7 or 8 hours of footage a night that we just don't have time to actually go into Darwin. Commenting. Cool. I'll see you at Chariots. Yeah, we just don't have time to hand out or sell the... we don't have time to sell the merchandise while we're filming and trying to get the content. Usually, like we went to Perth earlier this year. I've never been to Perth. I was there less than 24 hours and didn't even get time to really socialize too much or even time to sell stuff. So even if we do take stuff, we don't really have time to sell at the racetrack. And it's only like $10 within Australia to ship something. So I don't make any money out of shipping. That's not the idea. The idea is to just hand it out. At cost. So, will Archerfield be running next season? Let's talk about that in a second. To be honest, I don't know, but I do have an opinion on that. But yeah, I'm really excited to go to Darwin. I've never been. I'm sick of hearing how good it is. Before I stopped racing, which is in 2017 or 18, I think it's been 5 years since I stopped racing. We were actually headed to Darwin. Had everything planned, and then I had the problems with my eyes, which had been going on for a few years, and my left eye hadn't cleared up. to be able to go. So and that's when I pulled the pin and I never raced again. So what is this? How is the sizing for the jackets? Well, I'm a 3XL, obviously. No, I think I'm a medium. You know, it's usually a normal size. Thanks for commenting, Joe. But yeah, so you know, it sucked that I couldn't go race at Darwin. Yeah, it's been 5 years already. But I'm excited to go for Sprint Car Hub and cover the event. No matter what happens, we'll be going out. Like I said, we come back on a Thursday from the States. We come back in the morning. I get to go home, sleep for a few hours, and then we head to Darwin for those couple of days. And then we actually come back so I can fulfill orders. I'm literally flying back from Darwin to fulfill orders that are on the website, which I've already got a few of. So just be patient with that, please. But yeah, so Darwin should be fun. If you're from Darwin, let me know. I've already seen a couple of people comment, said that they're going. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Either way, I know for the next month it's going to be nice and warm. I've just got to finish packing. I have not, for some reason, I'm so lazy with packing. Don't know why, but I'd leave it to the last minute. And with all this stuff, my laptop and iPad and things like that, once we're done here, I can pack all that up. But I'm just looking at my notes. That's pretty much it for the news. If you want to know more, comment away. We can talk anything about Sprint Car Hub, Sprint Car related. Again, to recap, we're going to the USA, we're going to Pevely, Oskaloosa, Knoxville. We come back, we go to Darwin for 4 nights there. People saying they're jealous and want to come. Honestly, this stuff is so expensive. Don't think that this is some sort of crazy money-making thing. That's why we put the merchandise out, you guys to support us and help us get around. It's not to pay for our vacation. We literally only ever care about putting out the best videos. So let's get into some of the comments. All right. Oh, just before we get into the comments, I've been getting messages about on the Sprint Car Hub page here and YouTube everywhere about Eastern Creek. And Eastern Creek, I haven't got any news. I sent a message to one of the owners earlier today, haven't got a reply yet. So I guess I'll have to go through that. You know, we'll try and find something out later on. People asking about, did I miss the news? Yeah, probably. If you want to scroll back up, you can. But yeah, so so I haven't heard anything about Eastern Creek. Archerfield, again, I said I have an opinion on that. My thoughts on Archerfield is if there was going to be a calendar or if they were going to go racing, they would put it out by now. They might be watching and not be happy that I said that, but at the end of the day, everyone's got to kind of make their plans and things like that. And you got to remember, if we're in August now and racing starts in 6 weeks, you know, people are making plans and things like that. It's not that they can't race, but you think we'd have an update by now for teams and drivers and fans like yourselves to sort out. Try and keep the comments appropriate if you can. It's not really for me, it's just for everyone else. But yeah, so that's kind of Archerfield, that's kind of my thoughts. Let's read some of the comments. How was your experience at Perth Motorplex? Perth was the best track that I've ever been to, venue-wise. I think there's 2 different categories. There's how good's the racing, the racetrack, and how good's the venue. And to me, October 1 is the first event at Archerfield. Oh, maybe. Toby's a 3XL for sure. Yeah, I'm a big unit. All right, so Perth was awesome. Perth really was cool. It's like driving into Disneyland. I think I said that in the video that we put up with Creaky Motorsport, but it really is it's an experience, and you really feel like if every track in Australia was as good as what Perth is, then we'd have a great sport that we can spread around. Just heard Brock Zierfoss is coming to do Speedway and another top. Yeah, so again, USA drivers, I wrote a post about World Series the other day. I got to be honest, and I was going to put this in a separate post, but if you look at all the high-paying races that they have in the States, would you come out for a 30 grand to win show or a 50 grand Australian, you know? And that's no knock on the Classic or who's putting the money up or anything like that. At the end of the day, it's just, you know, is it really worthwhile coming out when you've got the amount of big shows that they have in the States, you know, and there's no guarantee that you're going to win. So, you know, hey, as a race car driver, I'd like to go to any show. I don't care what it pays. I want to go racing. but I just can't see, people coming out for one race. Yeah, so that's kind of my opinion. Let's see if I can read some of the other comments. Oh, got a new order. Someone just bought something. William Davis. Thank you, William. Is there a difference between a World of Outlaw sprint car and a sprint car in Australia? Yes, there is. I actually want to do a video on this. First of all, the wings. Second, the tires. Mufflers, which isn't as clean cut. Wow, I'm getting orders everywhere by people on the website. This is awesome. Thank you, everyone. It really does help us to keep doing what we're doing. If you only knew that I've just spent $5,000 on another camera, spent close to 10 grand for us to go to the States and Darwin, and that's just those two things. Like there's so much more. Obviously the outlay for the merchandise and things like that. So some people have like a Patreon or things like that, and you can send me money to ask a question, things like that. I'm not really into that sort of stuff. I want to provide something that you guys get to keep, and that's why I think merchandise is the best way to do that. And I want to have something that's not just the same different stuff. John Kelly said they would lobby Queensland government to try and obtain a venue. Well, if they're going to get a venue, it's not going to be built by September. So if there is going to be a racetrack, it should be pretty soon. I personally haven't heard anything about Archerfield Racing. I hope it is, but I haven't heard anything. Someone said, what was the comment? The differences with the sprint cars. Any merch for ladies? Not yet, no. It's definitely something I want to do. I've got people who want merchandise for kids and stuff like that, and of course I want to do all that. But the outlay that we've got already, kind of need to go through some of that and then look at getting some kids stuff. I want to get everything made for Sprint Car Hub, and obviously it's got to be unique, kind of like our content. We've got hats, yes. Oh, that was one thing I didn't mention. I'm glad you commented. Is the hats the grey front and the black back? We've only got like less than 10 left. I got a notification the other day. Someone ordered a few the other day, or a few sold the other day, and I know we're really low on them. So we probably won't be getting more of them. So if you want a hat, definitely get a hat now, because I've already sold like 10 things since I started this video half an hour ago. So definitely jump on board and get a hat. We got a few more of the black hats, but we did get them a lot later. So you're going to want to get one of them too. So so let's read some more of the comments. The difference between the sprint cars, different things like that. There's heaps of different rules. Like in America, they've got to run tethers on the front axles. There's different engine things like I showed in the traction control video. There's some different stuff there, although looks like we've just changed our rules again too. There's little things like I don't think they have to run rock screens. They don't run arm restraints, aren't mandatory. I think now the head and neck restraints are mandatory. There's so many things like that. They're a bit more cowboyish, I would say, over there, but in some ways, and then other ways they're not. Over there, you don't have to have insurance. I know when I raced in the States, it was a choice that I made, was that I want insurance to go racing. Just like what the licensing here is with Speedway Australia, is that you're basically paying for insurance. That's what Speedway Australia is all about, so that we can go racing. In the States, they don't have that, and something goes wrong, then you're going to get an expensive bill, so you better make sure that you're hurt pretty good. And no fences, at their track. So I'm going to see if I can move this around. Will Bordertown be the best track in Australia if it lives up to I-55? I think so. Like I just said before, I can't wait for to go to Peevely, and that's meant to be based off of Peevely is what Bordertown is meant to be in South Australia. So I think if South Australia can get, between us, don't tell anyone, but I've heard things about Adelaide is definitely being worked on to come back. I've actually heard off a couple of people that they're working on it, so I'm not sure who's getting the deal there. But I think Adelaide's coming back. That's Speedway City, and then you've got Bordertown in South Australia, which is sounds like they, this time last year, they were scanning Peevely over in the States to copy it exactly. So if they can do that, to me, you're going to have some awesome racing. And I think Eastern Creek's also got a lot of potential to be to live up to some really good racing. I think it can provide. We just need to get it wide. It needs to be dug out in the middle. We need to have a bank top. We need to have a flat bottom, and you're going to see those awesome slide jobs. But obviously, the promoters have got a lot of problems there, or gone through a lot of stuff anyway to get all that sorted. But I really thought, we got another order. Thank you. Another one from the same guy. Thank you. Awesome. This is awesome. Not just for the orders, but to actually communicate with people, and live too. Be good for a speedway track at Calder Park. Yeah, well, it would be good if the asphalt track was running too. You're a great little commentator and you will go a long way. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate that. I'm no pro at this, but I just want to communicate stuff to people that are watching. I really didn't think that we'd last half an hour doing this. We might last for a few more minutes, and I'll get done doing that. Need to get the service right. Toby's good for a loan now. Yeah, thanks, Steve Cornt. All right. Did Sheldon go over the top the other night? In a way, I feel like you're not really heard. I'm reading the comments off of YouTube, by the way, but I'll read them off Facebook too. I think Sheldon had a right to do what he does, and not just off that one thing, but you get frustrated when you want to put out, things to change, but if you just kind of have a chat about it and things don't get changed. Look at what happened with Brent Marks earlier on, and what's happening with a lot of teams with the tyre situation right now. Any chance of driving a sprint car again? I would say no, but might talk about that in a sec. I think like when you look at the tyre situation, if you just talk about it, then nothing really happens. So if you actually make a stand and kind of get the fans to notice it, like you guys, then something gets done about it. Behind closed doors, there's not that big of a push to do anything. So I'm kind of glad Sheldon went out and did what he did, and maybe something will actually get changed. Look at what happened with Shots the next night, only yesterday, with the flagman coming over and saying, "Did I help you out with this with signals?" And it's like I saw a lot of people on Twitter saying, "Yeah, that he does that all the time. He's always done that," and a lot of flagmen do that. But at the end of the day, it's like it's not something that should happen. So don't do that. And it only helps the guy leading. Like it's not fair for racing wise. So let's see what other comments we've got. Have you seen McFadden? How have you seen McFadden's season so far? I think he's had a decent season. Like it's obviously like overall you'd probably be disappointed. He hasn't won anything, but he's been in contention a few nights and actually been decent. It's not like he's been terrible and they're wondering what do we do. A little bit similar, I guess, to Sweet, which is funny because, and I guess Casey Kane as well, because all those cars are kind of the same and come out of the same shop. And I feel that Sweet, McFadden and Kane, again, have been decent, but they just haven't been as good as, and had those high highs like Sheldon has. He's had 8 or 9 wins, and you've got Gravel who's knocking on wins now, and they're not slow, they just aren't really finishing it off and don't have those high highs, so I would say that's what the difference is there. Let's see, I am behind on a lot of the comments, sorry. What else we got? Any chance of me driving a sprint car again? I would say no. My eye hasn't gotten better since I stopped racing 5 years ago. I wish I could go racing, but I got to be honest, like I'm loving doing this sprint car hub thing. I feel that like, it's funny because I was interviewing drivers and making videos about some basic stuff, and it kind of seemed like, all right, once I get through that would be the end of it. But I've got a list of like 100 or a few hundred videos, and stuff changes all the time. So there's so much content that I could be making that it's not funny. So I've got no doubt that I'll be doing this for a long time, and I'm enjoying it. We've actually got some other news. Probably shouldn't say this right now, but there's some other news coming up which I was going to put together with this video, but I'm going to hold off for a few weeks once we come back to put out, which is pretty exciting, that I'm really looking forward to, and it's going to be big for Sprint Car Hub and big for sprint car racing here in Australia too. So we'll work on that in time. Someone need to send Luke Oldfield to USA for a season. Yeah, there's a lot of drivers here in Australia that I'd love to see go over, but at the end of the day, like it's, we made a big commitment when I went over in 2015 and 2016 that so many drivers do for such a short period, and it doesn't always pay off. So you got to make sure that you're going over there with a good deal, and you got the right car. You got to remember, any driver, I don't care who you are, if you're Lockie McHugh, you're going over, you're competing against guys that do it full time, drivers, crew, they've got the best gear, they know all the tracks, all those sorts of things, and you're going to go over in a car that's you've never driven before, you've never worked with this guy before, you don't know the tracks, all those sorts of things, the conditions, and you're racing with people you haven't raced with before, you don't know how they react, whereas Brad Sweet races with David Gravel 80 times a year plus, so they know what to expect, whereas you're a real fish out of water going over to the States. So hopefully you guys can get behind the Aussies a lot and support them, because I know, having raced over there, it's not as glamorous as you think. You're kind of stuck on your own, and it's a lot harder than you think to try and be successful no matter who you are. It would be a massive task. So that's what I'm getting at. What was the whole story between Veal and Goodyear at the title? Honestly, I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to put this out there. I didn't catch all of it, and I got a bit of flack. I got guy from Speedway Australia ring me saying, what are you doing? Putting that up, do you think that's a good look for the sport? And it's like, well, I just want to capture the emotion, everything that you guys want to see. You just asked about it, and I don't want to kind of make anyone look bad. I just want to show what we got, so I actually had some more footage of that, and I explained that to them, and I didn't want to make anyone look worse or anything like that. So there's some footage that I didn't put up, but between Goodyear and Veal, like they had something happen the first night. I'm not sure if there was something that happened before then, but they were pretty emotional the first night, and then it was pretty much the exact same thing the second night. Again, we do a lot of filming, and I only had one camera at the time, and I was filming Marcus, who had just won, and then my buddy Matt said, hey, there's a lot of stuff happening right here if you want to film that. And then I only filmed 20 seconds of it, and I put up 10 seconds of it, so if there's more to it, you'd have to ask those guys. And at the end of the day, that's not the purpose of the video, is for so much for drama, but I just want to show a bit of emotion of what happens. I showed the happy, I showed the sad, the angry, the disappointed, all those sorts of things. And there's so much more content that I wish I did get, but that's what we did get. So your tip for the Nationals, I think I'm going to say David Gravel. Okay, so here's something I've been thinking about recently. Someone finally paying you to do media. No one's paying me, I promise. So everything you're watching is because I want to do it, and if we make money, it's because we sold merchandise or we had people watch on YouTube. So my pick, I think David Gravel. You look at Brad Sweet and Kyle Larson, they've got the event in a few days after that they're promoting. I feel like maybe they'll be a little bit, it's funny because I probably shouldn't say it about someone like Larson, but because he races all the time. He even won today in a different car on pavement, I think a midget or something. But I just feel like Gravel doesn't have those distractions. I felt like last year, being with a new team, working with Cody Jacobs, his crew chief, who didn't really have the runs on the boards with, who wasn't really doing awesome with someone like Kerry in the car. I think that I think that's a reason why, Gravel probably struggled early on last year. And now I feel like they've kind of clicked. They've done a full season together. I really feel like they've got an opportunity to go really far. Shots might be there. There's so many good cars. Like I said, Brent Marks, we thought for sure he would win. But he's been so dominant, and he was so good at Eldora. Daylight was second. And I feel like... I just feel like Gravel's in the right spot. He's winning the races. Sheldon probably a little distracted right now going into the Nationals. We need World Series sprint cars. You're not wrong, man. You're not wrong. I just got a thing on my... Oh, got another order. Awesome. Thank you, Trevor. I think my charger's not on, so hold on a sec. All right, cool. All right, now we're charging. I didn't think I'd do that live. Is tyres still an issue? Very much so. I just saw Robbie Farr's not going to the Chariots of Thunder at Darwin in a couple of weeks because of tyres. Whether that's the true reason or not, I'm not too sure. But that's what they said. Do you think the sports needs a license level system similar to CAMS, as in you need to prove your skills before? Yes or no? Yes and no. I think yes, because we do see some people jump in a sprint car and they shouldn't be in a sprint car. The reason I say no is because when I shouldn't have been in a sprint car, I raced a sprint car when I was 16, and I definitely didn't have the experience or the wits about me to do it properly. I went from a 27 horsepower go-kart to a 900 horsepower sprint car, so it is a big jump for someone coming from karts. I know that. Someone said we need World Series sprint cars. Yes, we do. World Series needs to be a thing. Is World Series being delayed again a concern for its future? I think so. I said it in a post. If they wanted it to happen, I think it would have happened. I really feel like we need a major series. Maybe it needs to be done by someone else. Maybe the teams need to come together. That's how World Series originally started. I actually had Gary Rush ring me a few weeks ago, and I asked him about how did the whole World Series thing happen, and he explained to me how everyone got together and they picked someone to, I think everyone put some money in and they picked someone to run it, and that's kind of how it went. And that was the reason why I think it happened, was because of the teams, and I think maybe it needs to go back there possibly. So because I feel like that's what would actually make sure it happens and make sure it lasts. What does your shirt say? It's backwards. It just says Sprint Car Hub, and then they're just pictures of race cars. But yeah, this has gone for almost 42 minutes, which is, we've already spoken about some of this Archerfield stuff. But yeah, this is way longer than I thought we would last on this. I've got to finish packing for tomorrow. Archerfield be replaced? I don't know. I hope it does, but the thing with Parramatta is it was replaced straight away. Like, we already knew we were getting a track, which everyone doubted. If you doubted that we were going to get a new track in Sydney and they already said we're going to build you a new track, then you're definitely going to doubt that they're going to get a new track when looks like Archerfield's going to close down and there's no talk about a new track. Yeah, I think that's about it. Do you think... Oh, someone did ask about the Pro Sprints 360 deal, and someone just asked again. Yeah, I don't like it. A big thing for me is about bringing the entire sport together, and we don't... Oh, we just got another order. This is awesome. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for, whether it's a shirt, a hat, a jacket, a sticker, a stubby holder, it doesn't matter what it is. If you buy it, I really appreciate the support. And again, it's not just for me, it's for everyone else. For you guys to, obviously I get the money and you guys get to enjoy wearing the merchandise. I don't want to charge, I'm not into Patreon or you guys donating money or anything like that. I want you guys to have something to keep. But yeah, the Pro Sprint deal, I like bringing the sport together completely. And if in a perfect world, I'd like to see all of sprint car racing, no matter where it is, States, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, South Africa, wherever they race. I'd like to see the same rules everywhere, which kind of will never happen because you've got too many people with different interests and you got too many kind of smaller deals stopping that. The Outlaws have a deal with Hoosier, whereas in Australia, a series might not have that, so they're going to do their own thing. But to get them to come together and have the same rules and same outlook on everything, I think is so difficult. So I'd love to talk about more of this stuff in depth, and I will over time. They don't run at Avalon and Warrnambool. I'm not sure what he's talking about there. But in the US, yeah. So again, someone's just asked, can I do a segment on the differences in the classes? And that's something I want to do over time, is actually talk about the differences between Australian sprint car and an American sprint car, all the way to the transporters. They have a 53 footer in the States to what if is it 48 foot in Australia. The transporters, they're a foot wider and they fit another extra car and so much more in the American transporters than we do here in Australia. There's things like that. I really want to go in depth with all that sort of stuff for you guys, but it just takes so long to put a video together, and obviously going to the racetrack stops us from putting videos together like that. So but I really, trust me, I've got like 1,000 ideas. I could make a video every week. If I could do that, I'd have enough for like next 5 years. I've got that many ideas written down. So, am I expecting a big contingent of American drivers at the Classic? My honest answer is no, and I hate to say that, but I'm sure there will be some, because I think everything will be pretty open then. But I don't, like I said, I put up a thing the other day, and we even forgot some of the big races that they have in the States. But the amount of big shows that they've got in the States, check out the graphic on our Instagram or Facebook. But there are so many big races in the States that pay well down the line. You got to remember, these guys are people too, and they've got to have time off. So coming to Australia for one race or for a few races takes away their entire break, you know. So and again, like we spoke about before, they're going to be in a car they've never driven before most of the time, with people they've never worked with. And I'm not saying like they're professional race car drivers, they should be able to do that sort of stuff. But I just really feel that, like it's the win-lose. Like all these guys could come over. Shots could come over. Sweet could come over. Carson Macedo, Gravel, we haven't seen him for a few years after what happened at the Classic. I think the last time he was here. But you know, and again, with Australian sprint car racing, it's not just about a big race. You've got to remember the sprint car racing in Australia has to be in a good position. And what I'm trying to say is, it can be 50 grand to win, and it can pay 40 grand for second, 30 grand for third. It doesn't. But if sprint car racing in Australia isn't in a good place where there's plenty of car owners, and we can support, you know, the car owners with good races and things like that, and parts are cheap, you know, the tire situation, then there's no point bringing drivers over. You know, someone's got to pay for this driver to come over and race, and it's not going to be the driver. You know, he's a professional race car driver. Like I said, if I were in the position of the top outlaw guys, I'd be happy to stay at home. And one race isn't big enough, you know, and that's where the sport of sprint car racing is right now. You know, we should be starting up in Queensland early January, and we should be working our way down. We should have this big show at Toowoomba, which I know they've got. It's like 20 grand to win, which we'll be going to for sure. And then it should be moving down to Sydney. I know the calendar right now is backwards for whatever reason. You know, there's a big race on in Sydney, and then it's going to be, and then the next week is Toowoomba. And then the week after that is down at the Classic. Like, it's just backwards for the car owners and people like that. I'm going on a bit of a rant, aren't I? So I just see all these complications and things that need to be fixed up. So I just feel like if you're a driver, you're a team owner, you're a driver in the States, a team owner here in Australia, you know, if you're a team owner in the States, like, are you going to send your cars over here? Probably not. Like, how rare is that? You know, and right now it's just not a good time. And, you know, luckily the sport in America seems to be thriving. We can see over 100 cars for Knoxville are entered, which is awesome. Again, they got massive races next year. They got Houston's 250 grand to win show. And in saying that, the sport is in a good place, but, you know, this is just some rich guy putting the money up too, you know, just like Eldora. So yeah, what do you think of High Limit Sprint Car Series? I think it's a good thing. Yeah, that's another really good thing. You guys are reminding me of all the videos that I should have made, or I wish I had time to make. Maybe we can make this live video thing a more common thing. Maybe just give me a thumbs up or comment yes if you, or more of this, more live videos if you guys like this sort of stuff. I'm just rambling off the top of my head and seems to kind of be coming out. But the High Limit Sprint Car Series, I think it's a good thing. Competition is good. Competition's always going to be good. People seem to think so, that we should make more of these. Competition is always good. The World of Outlaws have kind of, I guess, in a way, dictated things for a while. There have been rumors that, you know, guys want to leave and do other things. And then all of a sudden you've got, you know, the Outlaws this year, I think it's 350 grand more for the payout, for the overall payout. Much more higher paying shows incorporated into the Outlaw schedule. So basically to entice teams to say, no, stay with us, stay with the World of Outlaws. And then you've got this High Limit thing with Brad Sweet and Kyle Larson. I think that Flow Racing's got a lot more to do with it. I've been told that Flow Racing and Dirt Vision get along really well. but I feel like it's going to come to a head where they are directly competing with each other, and that's what this high limit thing is. I was told that flow racing doesn't have that much to do with it, but at the end of the day, okay, well, why didn't Larson and Sweet go with Dirt Vision? There's a reason why it's on flow racing. Flow racing is venture backed, so they've got a lot of money to play with, whereas the Outlaws is like privately owned, I guess if you want to call it that. So it's just a different way to go about it altogether. So I really feel that it's going to be a good thing. Hey, there's more high paying races, but at the end of the day, we don't want it to just be some rich guy paying his buddies to come race at his track. We want it to be a money making thing and introduce sponsors. And High Limit, what is High Limit? High Limit is a sprint car series that just got announced. It's running on the Tuesday after the Nationals, which is a shame because I fly out on the Tuesday, which we had already booked our flights, and it's in Indiana anyway, but we're staying for a couple of days in case of a rain out in Knoxville. But yeah, the High Limit Sprint Car Series, it starts this year for one show, a one-off show in Putnamville in Indiana, and it is, I forget how much it was to win, but like 20 grand or something like that, which is great. Midweek show. I know they're going to aim for shows that don't collide obviously with the Outlaw format, but it's basically they're saying it's run by Larson and Brad Sweet, who's not really meant to be allowed to race in other races and other series while he's contracted with the World of Outlaws. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there after Nationals. It's only 3 days afterwards, so we'll wait and see what happens there. But like I said, I think competition is good, and that you're going to see guys really probably do more of a Brent Marks thing where they go, okay, I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm not going to be contracted to a series. I'd rather make more money picking and choosing which shows I can go to. The Outlaws are never going to limit you from running at their $100,000 to win races or something like that. So why not turn up when you want? Concentrate on the tracks that you want to. Maybe work on the tracks where you struggle at. Things like that. And someone like Brent Marks, I mean, he's obviously won the 2 highest paying races so far this year at Eldora, and look at him. He's his team's earned the most money this year. So that's kind of my thoughts on all that. But there is so much more to talk about. We don't really have time for it. I was so nervous to do this, by the way. I really didn't think this was going to go well, but there's been at least a couple hundred people pretty much every time. I've got over 100 on Facebook, and around 100 on YouTube. So this has gone a lot better than I thought it really would. And everyone seems to be commenting and liking it and becoming a part of it. Can you come to Toowoomba again next year? It is such a good track, usually very slick and always delivers. Yes, Toowoomba, by far my favourite racetrack in Australia. Perth, awesome racing, way better than I thought it would be, but it's the best venue in Australia. Perth is awesome, but I really feel that Toowoomba puts on the best racing. Did you know Toowoomba is like a real egg shape? Like it's like that. It's got turns 3 and 4 are tight, but 1 and 2 are like a lot wider. I was only looking at the aerial the other day, but I can guarantee you we're going to be at Toowoomba. I can say that much. Cheers from Seattle. Wow, there's American people watching. I really didn't think they would be watching. I assume that's what you mean by Seattle. Hope to see you at Warrnambool. I definitely want to come down to Warrnambool. We're going to be going for the Classic for sure. And after the success of the Fan Appreciation Day, we're definitely going to be back. Again, love doing it. And people, Armidale, WA, people from WA, awesome, cool. So definitely going to be at Warrnambool. We're going to go to Toowoomba. We'll be doing the major shows here in Sydney. Perth, the Australian titles there in February. We can't wait to do that. Some teams and drivers have contacted me for us to do videos, which is why we've invested heavily, a little too heavy for my liking, to go to the racetracks that they're competing at. We got another order. Thank you very much, Aussie Brakes. Not sure who that is. But yeah, another order. We've probably got over 10 orders well over that, just by doing this right now. So thank you, everyone. Are you coming to Simpson Speedway? I've never been to Simpson Speedway, and I really want to go to Simpson Speedway. I've seen a few comments about Timmis. Speedway. I'd love to go there too. Again, we want to go to the major races that you guys want to see the behind the scenes of. But other than that, I also want to do a lot of those other videos which are kind of made here in my study. I don't know if you can see that, but if you ever see the background in my videos, that's because of this thing right here. That black thing is a pull down screen. It's a green screen, and I do all my videos in front of that. But yeah, the videos that I do in front of that are a lot of those generic ones about the differences between an American and an Australian sprint car, how drivers use their wings, all those sorts of things. There's so many videos that I can make and want to make, and I have the gear now for you guys. So love the comments. I'm going to be reading all these comments afterwards too. So definitely let me know what you want to see. Always send me a message. I love chatting about sprint car racing. Obviously going to be busy over the next month, but are you going to the Chariots Fan Appreciation Night? We're not. I think that's on the Thursday, the 18th, before, which is the night we fly up there. So that's going to suck that we're going to miss that, but we'll definitely be there for the couple of races. Yeah, you'll see me at those races. Simpson, 21st of January. Yeah, maybe I need to go for that. But yeah, like I said, another person watching from WA. Yeah, I was very nervous putting this video together, doing this live thing. I've never done a live video other than when someone else I've been part of it when working for Clay Per View or something like that. So I was a bit worried how this was going to go, but it's going really well, and I really appreciate everyone commenting. I wasn't sure how well it was going to go. Producer Attica, yeah, I think maybe someone's asking me. Hit me up. I'm not sure what they're asking, but yeah, I'd love to. The thing is before we sign off here, because we've been going for almost an hour, we wanted to go to the States for like 6 weeks. We wanted to go all the way from Attica, Eldora. We wanted to go to New York, which is where the Outlaws have just finished. And obviously Peevely and things like that. I'd love to do all that, and maybe down the track we'll do all that. But it just made sense. We're going for not even 2 weeks. We're going to pump out as many videos as possible. Seeing all the comments and things like that has honestly made me want to really push on with it, because I wasn't sure how well this would be received. But yeah, we really can't wait to do these videos that we've got coming up. And then we get back at the end of August from our second week in Darwin, and then we're going to be going to we're going to have a few weeks off. Hopefully I can do some more of those generic videos. We're hopefully going to be filming some videos a couple of days after the Nationals, where you guys can check out some of that other stuff, like again more generic stuff. I've already spoken to guys like Linton Jeffrey and a couple of others about doing some videos. So Linton Jeffrey makes Vortex wings, and I want to show you guys how wings are made, and do a video like that, for example. So yeah, end of August is done, and then we have a few weeks off. We'll put out some of those videos hopefully, and then we'll be getting into the Australian season, which I can't wait for, because I really feel like we've started to build up some momentum and things like that. The live come across really well. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate it. I am definitely going to do more of these, because just the comments alone is been awesome. I was like, okay, I'm going to put this up. Probably going to have like 5 people watching and be like, all right, no one's going to watch this. Let's pack it up. But I've got out everything that I wanted to say. And everyone seemed around video around inside the Hall of Fame. Yeah, that'll be something that we might be able to get. I noticed there's a Criggy Motorsport car in the Hall of Fame, which is pretty cool. And I really want to get some cool footage of stuff like that. I can't wait to get over to the States. It's my 12th trip to the States. I've been over with family, obviously. I think every year we watched racing when I was a kid. Not that I remember them. And we're also going to be... I've been over to crew for teams. I went for a month in 2012. I went for 6 weeks with the Outlaws in 2014. I raced myself in 15 and 16. I got on the piss at Knoxville in Vegas in 2019. And now I'm finally going over with my buddy Matt, just for Sprint Car Hub. We're going to put out as many videos as possible for you guys. So, all right, we're coming up to an hour. It's been 59 minutes. Keep it Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday would probably be a good thing for the live shows. Obviously, I won't do any for a couple of weeks. Do a spring segment with your brother. My brother, it's funny you say that before we wrap up. My brother sent me a message and said, have a fun trip or something like that. And I said, oh, yeah, thanks very much. It should be fun. Oh, by the way, I'm doing a live video at 7 o'clock. I'm pretty nervous. And he goes, okay, I'll watch it if I can. And then, like I said, I was nervous. And he goes, just be a wanker. And I feel like I've done a good job of that. So, yeah, my name in his phone is Cockhead, by the way. So that's what he thinks of me. Thought I'd add that. But yeah, I think a cool segment with Roddy would be cool, and maybe it can be a more common thing if Roddy's got the time that we can have him on. Someone just wrote something. Will I be catching up with Peter Murphy? I messaged him the other day. I didn't even catch up with him, and he was like 10 minutes away from me when he came back home for a week, only a week or two ago. So I said he'd gone to nationals. I'd love to catch up, and he said, hopefully we'll see what happens. So we'll see if he's there. We'll definitely catch up. And I'm definitely going to try and get as many interviews and things like that and insights for you guys while we're over there. Like I said, I can only put in what I think of and what Matt thinks of and what we think you guys would like to see. But I'd love to put videos up of and include content that you guys suggested yourself. So please let me know. But yeah, other than that, we're going to wrap up. Still plenty of people watching, more on YouTube now than there is even on Facebook. But yeah, if you haven't already, just a reminder, if you're just watching now, we got some new merchandise. And where is it? We got sticker kits here. There's 5 stickers on each, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we've got our stubby holders, which you can grab on the website. All this merchandise, there's going to be a little bit of a delay because we're going away. Most likely there's going to be a delay because we're going to fulfill the orders probably when we get back. But you got these shirts. Again, there's only a few sizes and a few things like that are on the website. So if you want one of these, there's like only like 10 larges, something like that. So if you want them, make sure you get it, because as I can see just in this past hour, there's a lot of gone straight away. So this as well. We've also got these polos, which I'll be wearing to the racetrack quite often. Something like that. That's a grey one. I really like this. Super stretchy and light and cool. And then here's the jackets as well. I might put it on so you guys can see. That's the jacket. So something that looks a bit more formal at the racetrack instead of your average baggy hoodie or something like that. So yeah, definitely get on the merchandise while you can, while it's still there. Thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.